All right, all right. Let's talk solutions, guys. Let's talk solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk solutions. We have to fix Nigeria's non-oil sector. What's it going to take? We got to fix the country's non-oil exports to the United States. We got to do it. We have to do it now. Because we're leaving money on the table. Nigeria is leaving money on the table in the non-oil sector. What is, what counts as non-oil? See, we have to define what non-oil means. What counts as non-oil? It's everything or anything that is not crude oil related. It can't be a derivative of fossil fuel. It can't be a derivative of crude oil. That is what constitutes and what counts as non-oil in Nigeria. So I'm on the page, which you're looking at is the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. This is the agency in Nigeria that supports and facilitates the exportation of non-oil homegrown products from Nigeria to the world. Today's podcast, though, we're really going to be laser focused in the US market. So there's data out there that in 2024, the figures are not yet out for 2025, but in 2024, Nigeria exported $12.5 billion worth of non-oil goods globally. The USA accounts for about 45% of that $12.5 billion. The others are distributed and spread out throughout the rest of the world, but the US is still Nigeria's number one customer. I tried to play a video for you. I'm not sure if it came through, but you can visit this website, nepc.gov.ng, for those who are interested in learning more about what Nigeria produces. Those interested in importing Nigerian products, nepc.gov is a good place to start for those based in the United States. So there's a tab here called the product profile tab that has what? How many products featured here? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven core products featured here in the product profile. Cocoa, cashews, ginger, sesame, shea nuts, soya beans, and groundnuts. So if you visit each of those, you will see some information provided about that specific product. So let's look at cocoa for a second. See, this episode is not about highlighting the problems. I'm really trying to find a solution on how Nigeria can improve its trade relationship with the United States. Because the United States is still Nigeria's number one customer. Don't let anybody tell you any differently. So US goods imports from Nigeria average about $5.9 billion annually. On a monthly basis, that equates to about 450 million to $500 million. But guess what? These figures are not diversified. 90% of that figure that I just gave you is attributed to crude oil. Think about it for a second. 90% of Nigeria's exports to the United States. Crude, petroleum, and petroleum related products. Non all imports represent a statistically immaterial share of this total, meaning it doesn't even register. It does not even register. 90% of total value of that, 5.9 billion. It just shows that there's opportunity in the non-oil export space. But in order for us, stop sharing this for a second. In order for Nigeria to be able to export its products into the non-oil products into the United States, we need an offer. I mentioned the 7 products that you can find on NEPC's website. Do you know what the biggest challenge is? We are not best in class in any of those categories, meaning we are not top of mind, tip of tongue. When US buyers are in a meeting thinking, okay, what product am I going to buy and where? See, Nigeria does not come to mind. That's part of the challenge that we are facing at the moment in the non-oil export. You see, when it comes to crude oil, Nigeria comes to mind. But when it comes to non-oil, Nigeria does not come to mind in any meeting rooms, rooms full of buyers. The grocery conference in Vegas just ended today. It was from February 1st to February 3rd. This is where some of the largest retailers in the United States of America, they come to this conference in Vegas. And then you have exhibitors there exhibiting this, exhibiting that in the grocery chain. I'm talking about food chain. Nigeria should be in these rooms. Nigeria should be in these conferences, these trade expos. We are not doing enough. We are not focusing on the United States markets enough. And those who are capable and interested in exporting non-oil products to the United States don't even know where to start. They don't have the information. Granted, the United States market is not easy to penetrate. It's actually one of the toughest markets in the world to penetrate because of the high standards that the US has for all its imports, whether it's oil or non-oil. The standards are next to none. And in order for us to be able to, as a country, improve our non-oil exports into the US, I'm not talking China, I'm not talking Pakistan or India. The criteria there, those guys are low-hanging fruits. Nothing against those countries. They're still low-hanging fruits compared to the United States. AGOA, we've kind of lost AGOA, African Growth and Opportunity Act, where we used to get what, zero duty. That's gone. I would probably say relatively has gone away. The Trump administration is not really prioritizing the renewal of AGOA at the moment. So each country, each African nation has to go and trade bilaterally with the United States. What do we have? This is what Nigeria brings to the table. This is what we can do. You see, when you have 90% of your exports focused in one particular sector, the oil and gas sector, it is very difficult for you to then pivot from that and try to develop other sectors. It's difficult because the money is there. The money is flowing in the oil and gas sector. So what do? We continue focusing on what pays the bills. Oil pays Nigeria's bills today. That's what keeps the lights on in Nigeria. Crude oil, petroleum related products. We are lagging behind, gravely lagging behind in non-oil exports, particularly to the USA. Yes, we're out there. We've struck a deal with the UAE. We have a deal with Turkey. We have a deal with China. We have a deal with Pakistan. But where is the deal with the United States of America? Do your research. Nigerians are all over the world. The majority of Nigerian migrants on the face of this earth are primarily based in three countries: the US, number one, Canada, number two, and the United Kingdom, number three. I think Canada and the UK probably flip flops here and there, and sometimes the UK will take two, and then Canada will take three, and then it goes back and forth. But the United States of America is still where most Nigerian migrants live. We are not serving those people. We are not serving that customer base. The billions of dollars that's sent home every year, the majority of that, the 20 plus billion that Nigerians send home every year, the majority of that comes from the United States of America. And unfortunately, see, in order for us to improve our non-oil exports into the United States, Nigerians in the US need to take the lead on that, but they don't know where to go. They don't even know where to start. If we don't import our own goods into the United States, how then can we get US buyers to look into Nigeria as a sourcing destination for their cocoa, for the soybeans, for the what's on that list? The shea nuts. We are not known for anything outside of oil and gas. That's another issue. When somebody thinks about cocoa, they don't think Nigeria. They think Cote d'Ivoire or Ghana. No, no, no. Cote d'Ivoire is cocoa. When they're sitting around in that meeting room, ladies and gentlemen, talking about buying shared butter and shared nuts, Nigeria does not come to mind. Guess what comes to mind? Turkey, not Turkey, Ghana comes to mind. What are we known for? I'm not bashing Nigeria. I'm tired of kind of bashing Nigeria anyway. I want to start talking more about solutions. We need solutions. Today, the number one exporter, the number one African exporter of um, what's this oil? Olive oil in the nation of Africa is Tunisia. Tunisia exports Greek and Spanish grade olive oil to the world. They are known for that. Tunisia is known for that. And guess what? They are cheaper than the Spanish grade olive oil and the Greek grade olive oil. So guess what? Global buyers out there, if you're watching this and you are looking at importing Greek Mediterranean grade olive oil, cheaper than you can get it in Greece and Spain, look into Tunisia. Africans may not be able to compete. We have some of the best products. I think we can compete on price. We can compete on price. We can be 10% cheaper, same quality stuff, but people have to know that this product exists. That is the challenge, or one of the challenges that Nigeria is currently facing right now in getting non-oil exports out of that 10% range. We got to get it up to that 50%. We are too dependent on crude oil. This is not a jab at Nigeria. At one point, we were the global leader in palm oil. We are not even in the palm oil conversation right now. Malaysia is, India is. I know that there are programs out there, folks, pushing on all exports, but we are not seeing the results. I've been in the Nigerian export space now for 5 years, actually going on six. This is my sixth year. Nigeria's non-oil exports today is the red-headed stepchild. I don't even know what programs exist, to be quite frank with you. I know NEPC is leading the charge, but unfortunately, NEPC is not doing enough to try and gain the United States business. We are doing UAE, we are doing India, we are doing Pakistan, we are doing China. We have got, part of the solution is we have got to be best in class in the products that we offer. Best in class. Can we just have one product besides crude oil, ladies and gentlemen, that Nigeria is known for? Let's just sell one product. Just one. Non-oil. Just pick one. And let's hone in on that one product and educate buyers on that particular product. We gotta talk about the differentiator. What Nigeria needs a product, just like Tunisia has olive oil. Where is Nigeria? Forget about fresh produce. We still can't export fresh produce out of the country. Nigeria is one of the top producers of yam tubers. Top producers of yam tubers on earth. We can't move yam tubers out of Nigeria to save our lives. We understand that oil is what keeps the lights on. We get that. But we need to start building the Nigerian non-oil space. I'm looking at what? Cashews. Some of the top producers of cashews. When's the last time you saw a Nigerian branded cashew nut? They don't look at us when the buyers are across the United States, the buyers of these retail stores like the Walmarts and the Amazons and this regional grocery stores out there when they are buying from the world. Because Nigeria is not represented anywhere. The majority of these deals, these multi-million dollar deals, containers, they are transacted at trade shows and expos. Nigeria, please, let us pick. I understand the NEPC has product profiles for one, two, three, four, five, six, seven products: cocoa, cashew, ginger, sesame, shea nut, soybeans, groundnuts. Let's pick one and make it the flagship non-oil product of Nigeria. Because right now we are scattered all over the place. I'm not saying don't list these items. I'm not saying these products don't belong in a profile like we have on the website. I'm not saying that. But we need to have one flagship homegrown product that Nigeria can get behind. Something that we have control over, that we can produce in abundance in Nigeria, something that the world that translates to the world that's consumed both locally in Nigeria and also by consumers all over the world. All these items, the 7 items on the product profile, translate overseas. Ginger is highly competitive. I don't know if Nigeria can compete in the ginger space. Shea nuts, I don't think we can compete in the shea nut space because Ghana has that market. Soya beans, I don't think Nigeria can compete in the soya bean space because the United States of America is the leader in soya beans exports to the world. The 3 items that I see on this product profile that I think Nigeria can build upon: cocoa, granite, sesame seeds. In that Nasarawa region, that's Jigawa region of Nigeria, that's Abuja, they are known for their sesame seed um, production. But we are not even playing in that space. I just want one. And we also have to fix the systems in Nigeria, export systems. We got to make it easy for people in Nigeria to be able to export these items out, even if it's on a micro level. A few pallets here, a few pallets there. Doesn't always have to be containers. But unfortunately, these mom and pop, these smallholder exporters in Nigeria don't have the capital they need to be able to buy. For Nigerian producer right now to get a loan out of Nigeria, you're looking at a 35% interest rate. These systems have to work locally first before they can work globally. I've spoken in the past about Dubai chocolates. We have a deal right now. Nigeria, I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about Nigeria has a deal right now, a trade agreement right now with the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, produces Dubai chocolates. It's everywhere. You walk into any 7-Eleven store in the United States, grocery store, Dubai chocolate is making, there's a movement right now. Some might argue, because I've tasted the Dubai chocolate. Honestly, I couldn't tell you the difference between the Dubai chocolate and Hershey's chocolate bar. Can't tell you the difference. They all taste the same. As a matter of fact, Hershey's even tastes better, in my opinion, than the Dubai chocolate. Part of that trade deal is that Nigeria will supply UAE all of the cocoa it needs. Cocoa is what? The primary ingredient in chocolate making. I get that. Sometimes we have to export raw materials, raw produce. But what about the in-country processing of cocoa beans to chocolates? Let's have our own Nigeria branded chocolates. We are trying to be everything to everybody. Where is the flagship Nigerian product that the world, when they think about the market for, let's say, cashew nuts, first thing in their mind is Nigeria? We don't have that. Everything is crude oil, petroleum. The Nigerian non-oil export space is, when I say immaterial, it does not register, particularly in the US side. I get it. We need the energy, but we also got to start participating outside of the energy space. Can you name one or two manufacturers of Nigerian food products? Even if they exist, are they exported? Even if they're capable of exporting, would they be able to meet US criteria? Would they be able to meet FDA standards? Would they? Let me go ahead and show you. This is disheartening. I'm trying to make this a positive. I'm not trying to point fingers. Most people don't even know in Nigeria what NEPC is. So let's look at the product profile. Let's look at cocoa, for example. Website takes forever to load. Look at the major producing areas of cocoa. Ondo State, Osun State, Ekiti. Akwa Ibom is questionable though, because that's where I'm from. Akwa Ibom is not really known for their cocoa. We are known more for our palm oil. But Cross River is a good state that produces cocoa. This is where you can source these items from. Estimated production figure right there, 270,000 metric tons. Let's divide 270,000 by 25. That's about 10,820 foot container load of cocoa that Nigeria can export annually. 10,800. A 20-foot container holds 25 metric tons of product. We are capable of exporting 10,820-foot containers, full load containers, front to back, bottom to top, 10,800 of those annually. Let's look at say you're importing countries, Barbados, Belgium, the United States, Spain, Netherlands. Let's look at cashew nuts. These are unprocessed cashew nuts. Look at that data there. 60 years in production of cashew. 85% exported in shell. 81% to Vietnam. This is the cocoa, this is the cashew market, export market right now. 81% Vietnam for cashew nuts. 19% India. We can process 25,000 to 35,000 tons of cashew every year, but it's currently only utilizing about one third of the capacity. This too is change. Let's look at the data on ginger. Major producing areas of ginger in Nigeria. Kaduna is number one. Other producing states, Nasarawa, Benue, Niger, Gombe states. Nearly 370,000 metric tons. Nigeria has that capacity. Let's look at the markets. Importing countries of Nigeria's ginger. India, China, Bangladesh, Germany, Saudi Arabia, Netherlands, and the UAE. Says the export potential. The Netherlands and the UK have the highest untapped potential for Nigerian ginger, according to the ITC's export potential map. See these markets? Let's look at sesame. Sesame seeds. See, I told you guys, right? Nasarawa, Jigawa. These are the producing states of sesame seeds in Nigeria. For buyers, if you're in the United States, you are a buyer and you are interested in something like this, and you don't know how to navigate or penetrate the Nigerian market to source NEPC. Keep in mind, though, they don't always respond to emails when you send them an email. That's another challenge to communication. Somebody wants to buy something from you, you don't respond. They send you an email, the email is returned and rejected because it can't be delivered. Systems that we need to improve upon if we want to get out of this dependence on crude oil so we can start together growing the Nigerian non-oil exports markets. There's no reason why we shouldn't be playing in this space. Another thing too is, I understand we have these producing areas. Where do you actually go to buy? That's another problem. Farmers are fragmented. Aggregators are fragmented. Insecurity is also a contributor to one of the reasons why we are not able to compete on a global scale in the non-oil space. So look at those producing areas of sesame seeds. Nasarawa, Jigawa, Benue, Yobe, Taraba, Kano, Katsina, Gombe, Kogi, Plateau, Niger State. 572,761 metric tons. Importing countries. Nigerians abroad watching this, and you're looking for something to do. Talk to me. Japan, Turkey. I'm actually surprised the United States is not on here because we use sesame seeds a lot in the US, but also you are competing with markets like China as well. Look at the export potential for sesame seeds here. The markets with greatest potential for Nigerian exports is China, Japan, and Turkey. Nigeria has closest exports link with Morocco. China is the market with the highest demand potential for sesame seed. But you know what China does? They'll export Nigerian sesame seeds. They'll add some value to it, and then they'll sell that item to the United States. People think that China grows everything. They really don't. They just have the systems in place to be able to process things in-house. So you know what Nigerian farmers do? We sell for pennies on the dollar to markets like China, who would then take the sesame seeds, add a little bit of value to it, and sell it at premium to markets like the United States, Japan, Turkey, Vietnam, Brazil, and the UAE. That's what China does. Product profile for shea nuts. I know currently shea nuts is currently banned at the moment in Nigeria. You can't really export shea. You can export shea butter. You can export processed shea nuts, but shea nuts itself, it's still, I believe, restricted in Nigeria at the moment. So something like this beautiful shea nuts, that's you can't really export this in the whole form. It has to be processed into either shea butter or shea cocoa cream. The major producing areas of shea, look at the list there. If you're a Nigerian in the United States watching this, I'm going to recommend that you start with your home states first and foremost. Look at your home states where your ancestors are from and see what does that state produce that the world can use? In our situation, we have what? We have Akwa Ibom is known for what? We're a coastal state, so we are known for our fish. We are known for our crayfish. We are known for our shrimp. We are one of the largest importers of Nigerian crayfish in Barricades. We are one of the largest importers of Aquibum crayfish for the United States market. I'm actually surprised at crayfish. Think about this for a second. 83% of Nigerians consume crayfish. So why isn't seafood here? You see, crayfish homegrown. The Chinese, they love Nigerian crayfish. Super popular here in the southern part of the United States, like the Louisianas and the Mississippis, where they consume like crawfish, areas like that. Although you are not limited to those areas, though, crayfish is widely consumed. Also, you want to process your crayfish. If you're interested in crayfish imports in the United States, interested in crayfish imports, the grounded form crayfish sells much better than the whole form. So you gotta find a way to process your crayfish in country in Nigeria like we do, or you can import them into the United States in whole form and process your crayfish in country in the United States. But make sure if you really want to, in order for you to actually sell, it has to be in grounded form. Not saying whole crayfish doesn't sell, but you sell more of the grounded form crayfish than you do the whole form crayfish. So it says here the uses of shared nuts, as you guys can see, chocolate, soaps, cooking oil, baking fats, importing countries of Nigeria share nuts. Look, China, leading importer of share nuts. Soya beans. This one is a tough sell, like I said, because the US of A is actually the world leader in soya beans. We call them soybeans here. It's what they use to make vegetable oil, canola oil. This one is going to be a little bit difficult for you to actually export or import into the United States because the US already controls that market. But for those who are looking to export Nigerian soya beans to maybe other regions, I suppose you can do that, but the US controls the soya bean space. See, that's why you don't have enough. You see, there's really not much information on this. This is kind of maybe just a throw in there. But Nigeria can't really compete. Unfortunately, in the soya bean sector, unfortunately, Nigeria cannot compete. Granules, let's look at peanuts. We call them granules in Nigeria. We call them peanuts here in the United States. Third largest in the world with 10% of global production. So if Nigeria is the third largest producer of peanuts in the world, why haven't we heard of Nigerian peanuts or Nigerian granules? Europe demand for granules is high. Granite processing. This is something we actually looked into. Let me tell you guys. I've imported um, I've imported Nigerian granite into the United States and I sold quite a bit of them. The only reason that we stopped doing it was because we just couldn't find a reliable processor in Nigeria, so we stopped. Our main focus right now is on the Bereket crayfish because we control that area in Akwa Ibom State. Oron crayfish. Remember, 83% of Nigerians consume Oron crayfish. Oron is only a 45-minute drive from my village, from my processing facility. That's why it's always important, guys. Remember, we can't depend on Westerners to import these things into the US. Nigerians have to take the lead. All of this information is available to you. NEPC is a good place to start, Nigerian Export Promotion Council. And remember, you don't have to stop sharing this for a second. You don't have to have an import or export certificate in Nigeria. You can work through a broker. The majority of the freight forwarding companies in Nigeria, they have their NEPC licenses and their NEPC certificates. It's just about you identifying what you can bring into the United States. Because obviously, depending on the Nigerian government to push non-oil exports isn't working. I'm not saying that they are not making an effort, but I'm just not seeing the results. I'm not seeing the calls, calling Nigerians in the diaspora, Nigerians in the United States, come and look at this sector. Let's walk you through what you can export out of Nigeria, what you can import into the United States. Let's walk you through these things. Let's walk you through these farms. There really isn't any of that. When we are looking at bringing in foreign direct investments, what do they normally do there? They walk them through the mines. Come here and mine this lithium. That's what Nigeria is selling. We have oil to sell. We have lithium to sell. We have raw minerals to sell. No one is really talking about the non-oil export space. And if they are talking about it, they're not pushing it hard enough. We got to be known for something. Nigeria needs its flagship product. You look at the states, there's a program right now. Most of you, 99% of you, have never even heard about it if you're based in the United States. It's called One Product, One State Project. You look at the 36 states in Nigeria, the objective, or at least the idea behind this one product, one state initiative is for each state to identify one non-oil product that that state is known for. You don't really hear this being talked about. It's as if everybody for themselves. But it's time for us as a nation to start looking inward. Look at yourself. You're from somewhere. If you're in Nigeria, in the United States, you're from somewhere. You're from a state in Nigeria. Is it Kogi? Is it Nasarawa? Is it Jigawa? Is it Anambra? Reach out to your state official. Every state has a website, a state's website. Let me see if I can pull up the Akwa Ibom State's website. Try pulling it up the other day. It didn't, it was down. Just to give you an example, still loading. Yeah, see, it's still loading. But that is where you want to start. You want to start with the state that you are from. Visit that state's website. Google it. Anambra State Government website, Akwa Ibom State Government website, Lagos State Government website. They all have websites. Google it. What's up, CJ? How's it going? Can you explain how you control the area of crayfish? Who were you getting granuts from? What was the issue with the granuts that you got? Did you have any other product that sold well, but you stopped due to poor quality control? These are all good questions, CJ. Let me start with the first one. So as far as us controlling the area of crayfish is very simple. Like I said, you want to be close to the products that you are importing as much as possible. It's best if you are from that region. You got to be close to that product. Look at the statistics and look at the data. 83 to 85% of Nigerians today consume or run crayfish, which just happens to be a 40-minute drive from my village, from my where I have my processing facility. So we are close. We source directly with the from the fishermen there at Oron Crayfish. When we are ready to import our crayfish from Nigeria, that's where we go. We have relationships with the people who actually go and harvest this crayfish on our behalf. They will dry them for us. We buy directly from them, and then we truck the crayfish in huge jumbo bags to our processing facility in Ikonobioko, my village. I have a 23,000 square feet property. That's where we process our crayfish. And then what do? We hire the women in our village, in my, not even my village, my homestead. Google Rich and Barricades on Rich and Barricades Oron on YouTube. You will see me live and direct at Oron, sourcing myself. You see, now my team does it for me. But when we first started, I was on ground. I went home. I wanted to see what it was like. We sourced directly from Oron. There are other regions in Nigeria that has crayfish as well. I think Ogun State has crayfish too, but the difference between Ogun State crayfish and Akwa Ibom State crayfish is that Ogun State crayfish is too sandy. There's a lot of pebbles and rocks in it and sand. Akwa Ibom crayfish, not so much. So we control our supply chain, meaning we work directly with these crayfish suppliers. We truck it. Close proximity is only a 40-minute drive from Oron to my village. And then we utilize the women in my homestead. They're the ones that sieve and sort the impurities out of the crayfish. And it's my team in Nigeria. They'll dry the crayfish, sun dried for 3 days. There's a process behind it. They'll bag the crayfish in American branded export grade bags. They will export the crayfish directly to me here in Las Vegas. And then what do? We add one more value to it. We pack them in retail packs, 1 ounce retail packs, and we sell them single pack for $12.99. Canada, you can buy it. Mexico, you can buy it. It's on Amazon. And we have a 3 pack for $34.99. I'm not tooting my horn here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you what's working. But you got to be close to the source. Anybody can sell crayfish, not just us. But the difference between Embarrassed crayfish is that we show you the process. We take you through the journey of how we buy, how we process, how we clean them up, how we pack them, how we bring them into the country. That is why we are the most expensive crayfish on Amazon and we don't have any pushback. Because our customers, at least the people that we cater to, are not price sensitive. People want to know what they eat, where it's coming from. They want to know the story behind it. They want to know the brand behind it. 1 ounce crayfish pack for $12.99. 1 ounce. Unbelievable profit margin. Along the way, we got pregnant with ideas. We were making so much money. We took our eyes off the ball and started expanding into other products. Big mistake. In 2026, our objective right now is to clean out everything that we are selling right now and focus exclusively on Barricade Nigerian crayfish. That is the goal. We went from 1 SKU to 24, 25 SKUs. Now we are down to about 14 SKUs. And we are getting rid of all of them to focus on our core #1 best seller, our crayfish brand. Because guess what the next step is? We want to be inside Walmart. We want to be at retail stores. I am one of the few. And Barricket is one of the few US based importers of Nigerian products at scale, Nigerian crayfish at scale. We want to be known as the biggest importer of Nigerian crayfish by 2030 into the United States of America. That's our goal. That is why we are getting rid of everything else. We were into beads, we were into suya spice, we were into granite. Because to answer that question about the granite, like I said, we weren't able to control the supply chain of our granules. That is why we had to leave. You see, in order for me to be successful in what I do, I have to be able to control my supply chain. I have to know that this item is readily available when I need it. That item has to be close to my processing facility where I control. And when we started auditing everything we were importing and bringing into the United States, the single thing that stood out, number one, in addition to it being our best seller, continually our best seller over the past 6 years, crayfish. So we said, what are we doing? We are distracted. Because think about it, when you have multiple SKUs and you're trying to build a brand, an export brand, you got to focus and give that brand the attention it needs. It's impossible for you to give two things 100% of your energy and 100% of your time at the same time. It's impossible. So that is why we made a critical business decision. Let us take the hits. Let us move out of every other category and every other product and focus on the one thing that Nigerians like, Americans like, Chinese like, Indians like. Everybody eats crayfish. It's a seafood seasoning. I don't go a single day without putting crayfish. I put that shit on everything. So the first, we are already what? This is February. By the second quarter of this year, because we are liquidating a lot of the items that we have that we're not bringing in anymore, we are liquidating everything to focus. Our objective by summer of 2026 this year, the only item that we are going to have on the Barricade brand portfolio is the Barricade crayfish. Because it's what we know, it's what we are best in class at. Remember what I said at the beginning of this? Nigeria needs to have something that it is best in class at. We don't have that. You see, for us, it's our American crayfish. The Akwa Ibom story. So the granite. So answer your. We were okay. You said we were getting the granite from a supplier in Lagos who was importing the granite the nuts, the lentils. So granite is not really nuts, it's lentils. They were importing it from the north into Lagos, processing it in Lagos, and then selling it to us in the United States. It's just too many hands, too many layers that we can't really control. We don't really know where the granite is coming from. So because we can't tell that story, I mean, we were selling our granite for what, $20 a bottle? $20 a bottle. People were buying granules from us left and right. But the problem is we are not interested. It's not something that we feel we can scale because it's a highly competitive sector, the nut space. Highly competitive. One thing we know, one category we know we can scale is the American crayfish category because there aren't a lot of players in that space. We want to do trade shows. We want to do conventions. We want to do conferences. We want to sell to retailers. We want to sell to wholesalers. It's impossible to do all this when you have multiple brands distracting you as a small business. Mberiket is a small family business. That's how we like it. We are self funded. We don't borrow money. Every revenue that comes in from our product is reinvested back into the business. It's a family business, 100% wholly owned by us. Crayfish is a product we know like the back of our hand. It's a market that we know like the back of our hand. We know the consumer base. We know why they're buying our crayfish, even though it's more expensive than 99% of the other crayfish that people are still coming to buy the American crayfish. 4.2 rating on Amazon, 195 reviews. Not to brag, let me pull it up and show you. Let me pull it up and show you. If we can import, you can import. Don't depend on NEPC. Don't, I mean, yes, start with NEPC. Don't get me wrong. This is the Mbariket crayfish landing page on Amazon. If I'm going to be promoting the Nigerian non-oil export space, I might as well promote us too. Mbariket Nigerian crayfish. Look at that. African seafood seasoning. 1 by 1 ounce pack, meaning you get one pack and it's 1 ounce. Look at our rating, folks. 4.2 out of 5 stars. We are rated by 195 reviews. You know, only 1% of people leave reviews. Do the mathematics. Do the arithmetic. $12.99 per ounce. Do you think I'm lying to you? This is fulfilled by Amazon, ladies and gentlemen. We have them in 1 ounce pack for $12.99, and we have them in 3 packs for $34.99. Look at the branding. You see this logo behind me? You see that Mbariket iconic M logo? That's what's on my products, on our family products. Importing Nigerian goods is no joke. It is highly profitable, but you have to know what you're doing. You have to do one product at a time. Let me walk you through the story behind Mbariket crayfish. Look at that. Grounded for cooking convenience, hand sorting to ensure the best quality. You see those two ladies? Those are my aunts. They're the ones in the village that are processing this for us. That's my uncle right there. You see, I use family members. When the Mberiket crayfish brand, oh my God, look, oh, there's only 6 left, though. So I got to send more to Amazon. You see, only 6 left. Oh, that's soon. 6 of the 3 packs, the 34. So that means I got to send some to Amazon for fulfillment. So what we do is we hand sift them to remove the impurity. All of this is done remotely in Nigeria. I don't talk. I'm at a point now where I just manage. Look, sun dried for golden texture. This is that property that I told you about. My 24,000 square feet processing facility. See, some of you are looking for fancy stuff. Everybody wants to sell fancy stuff. It's the basic things that make you money. is the salt, the sugars, whatever your state is known for. Sell something to somebody. Stop being just a consumer. Be a producer as well of something. Look at this video. See, this is how, before we started processing, we receive them in whole form and then we grind them. Look at that. Tell me how a customer is not going to buy that after watching that video. You see, that is my property. That's my 24,000 square feet property right there that I'm showing you, folks. Stop looking for acres of gold in somebody else's property. Find the acres of gold in your property. Look at this. Mbariket Oron Crayfish Processing Facility in Nigeria. Highlighted for you to see. You see somebody like me, I don't wait for any PC. I go out there and you see some of you are waiting for something to die so you can eat. Go out there and kill something. We are all vultures now. Waiting, you know, a vulture just waits. Something dies and a vulture goes and start eating the carcass. Just go and kill something. Look at that Hyundai Elantra there. That's my own now. I exported it from the United States to Nigeria. Look at that car. That's me. That's my hand right there. You see, I'm taking the customer. That's me now. It isn't an AI. That's where the chop crayfish will be AI, yo. Not me. That's me on the ground in my village wearing my branded Mbaraket branded shirt. Most of you are afraid to go to the village because you are afraid that some non-existent imagination winch is going to winch you. You are afraid. Let me tell you something. Mindset. Ah man, is this boy good or is he good? See your boy there in the they follow process crayfish. Let me pause for a second. That's me right there. You see, I wear my name everywhere I go. I'm there on ground. You see, this is the story that we sell to consumers. How many years ago was this? So like maybe a few years ago. Eh? When you go and you sit with the people and you, let me tell you something. Every product that is sold goes into creating jobs. And that every crayfish we sell goes into creating jobs. That is my mansion. I've now it's all fixed up. This is my team. That's me on ground. That guy that's wearing that red hat. That is not artificial intelligence in the age of AI. Now, maybe that. Goodness. See, if I told you this in the story, you probably won't believe me. But see, I got to show you guys action. This is what I do. This is what I do. You see all that facility? I control it. I own it. That's my team. This is what we do. This wasn't something that was brought in from another state. This is homegrown Oron crayfish processed at the Mbariket facility in Ikorobiokoro, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Some of you are waiting for loans. You are waiting for a savior. You are waiting for get out to Nigeria today and find how you can get involved in this non-haul export space. So see, these guys, I give them pami. If you don't want to come and assist, see, these are the village elders coming to come and greet your boy. You see, some of you are waiting for overnight success. You just think you can just wake up and then And then all of a sudden you start exporting and importing and making money. You got to go to Nigeria and get your butt into your village and see what you can do. Be proud of where you're from. Get in there and sort crayfish like I'm sorting. You see what I'm saying? This is why we are getting out of every other product to focus on Mbariket crayfish only. I can sell this story. I can sell this story in my sleep. You think I'm playing games? You think I'm depending on people? You see that Hyundai 2012 Hyundai Elantra. I bought that car in 2012, 14, 2 years old. I sent it to Nigeria so I can have wheels on ground when I'm back home. When I'm not driving it, it's parked in that property that you saw. You don't need a fancy factory. You don't need a fancy team. You just need a vision. I've told you guys in the past, the biggest issue is the lack of imagination in Nigeria. Everybody wants to be the next designer. Everybody wants to do apps. Everybody wants to do technology. Go and find something that your state is known for. Process it and import it into the USA. You see, when I touch down in Nigeria, they see me, they see opportunity. Bros, what you bring come? You see, my people don't even ask for money anymore. They ask for jobs. Every import, every export of Mbariket crayfish creates village level jobs. You want to compete and be exporting cocoa, exporting soya beans that you don't have best in class. You are doing all this craziness. Find something homegrown. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody is going to save you. I am not bragging. I'm just showing you the opportunities and the potential back home. That is what I'm trying to show Nigerians abroad. Stop waiting for NEPC. I'm not saying don't get involved. Get involved with the likes of the NEPC and all those people, but don't wait for them. Write your own, have your own blank check. Put your name on it. Create your own story and your own journey. Acres of gold, you've heard that story. Somebody left his father's house to go and look for opportunities elsewhere. Somebody else came, bought that property, and found acres of gold on that same lot. They are all chasing pipe dreams when your wealth is in your village. We are scaling. We want to scale. That is why, CJ, we are getting rid of everything that does not align anymore. We are getting rid of those things to focus on crayfish. CJ says, I'm going through your questions. I told you the issue with the groundnuts. It just didn't align anymore, number one. Number two, we couldn't control the supply chain. Number three, groundnut is a competitive market. Too competitive. We are only focused on products that we are best in class at. Did you have any products that sold well, but you stopped due to poor quality control? Yes. Suya spice, we're still selling. We're about to sell out on those, and we are done. We've done soap, black soap that we are getting rid of. We had a supplier in Osun State that we were buying black soap from. They couldn't even cut the soap to form. One will be bigger than another. One will be softer than another. There was no consistency in the quality of the black soap. And I'm over here. I already have the buyers. You know, American buyers are different from Nigerian buyers. American buyers want consistency across all levels. So the black soap, gone. The groundnut, because we were not processing the groundnut ourselves, you will have a batch that's lighter than another batch. We also got into beads and we are getting out of the jewelry business. We are getting out of the jewelry space because the materials needed to make the jewelry was imported from China. And when we say that we are a homegrown Nigerian import export brand, we want everything from the product itself to be made in Nigeria. The only thing that's non-Nigerian in our value chain is our packaging because we have to bring in the packaging materials from China, but the product itself is homegrown in Nigeria. What else do we bring in that we go? Oh, fashion. We used to bring in hats. We used to bring in Nigerian attire. We stopped all that rubbish. Because you will hire a tailor to sew something for you for a commercial, something for you to sell commercial. They will have a line that goes this way, another line this way, another line this way. The button doesn't work. The seams are stitched single stitched instead of double stitch. It was a quality problem, so we stopped. You see, I made this mistake so you don't have to. What else? Some Nigerian arts and craft. We brought in some masks. We brought in canes. What didn't we do? What haven't we done over the past 5 years? We've touched almost everything with the exception of crude oil. How long do they store it in Nigeria before you export? Our is immediate. So the way it works is this. Let me be specific to the crayfish. We'll buy the crayfish from the fishermen. Day one. It's already kind of dried. It's not entirely dry the way you want to, but it's dried enough for you to be able to bag them. And then we take the crayfish to the village, like you saw in the video, that we spread them out and sun dry them for 3 days. All of this is village intelligence. You see, when I tell you that we hire within the village, these are the people that have been, they know the crayfish system. They know how long. They know that you can't dry crayfish for longer than 3 days, and you can't do it for less than 3 days. It has to be exactly 3 days. Once the drying process is done, drying is generally done after we've removed all the impurity. We've sieved it. With basically everything that is dried is what's going to be sold. Once that is done, it takes another day for us to ground them. We have a grinding machine in my facility, and then we bag them. All this process takes about 2 weeks. From the moment we buy, the processing, the bagging, the exports to the United States, landing at my door here in the US takes about 2 to 3 weeks. And we immediately package them into 1 ounce bags, which can take a few days depending on the size. And then we ship them off to Amazon. Let's just say from the moment that we buy the product to the time it enters the customer's kitchen is roughly about 4 weeks. Did you buy the property? How much, if you don't mind me asking? No, 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 no. That property, I inherited that property from my dad when he passed away. That property was only about 30% complete when my dad passed away in 2020. So I'm the eldest of four child, and I'm also the first son. So basically, all of my father's properties I own and control. They say, ah, you got to share. I'm not sharing nothing. He said, my siblings can come, hang out, and they got to go. My father's land, I own every square inch. You see, traditionally, it's up to you, the son, the up to you if you want to split your inherited property with your siblings. It's up to you. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm like, okay, I'm not splitting jack shit. My siblings that I'm like 10 years older than all of them, they understand now. There's no issue. It's not as if they are dragging. My siblings that are all based in the US, my siblings don't want anything to do with Nigeria. I'm the only one that goes to Nigeria. So then what am I splitting for? So that facility that I showed you, Active Doja, what's up? That facility that I showed you, that's my residence. It's also my factory. I also have another land uphill, like literally just down the street from that facility. I'm building. What I want to do there is I want to build staff quarters there because as our business expands, we're going to need a place for people to sleep, a place for people to stay. We want them to be comfortable. We're going to have generator there. We're going to have air conditioning there. We just want our team to be comfortable. But I can't do that if I'm fragmented all over the place with multiple products. I got to focus on one product. Crayfish pays the bills. So I went to the Walmart Summit. For those of you who have been following me in August in San Diego, the people at Walmart looked at our crayfish and then they validated it and said, this is the real deal. That is why we said, we got to stop all this rubbish that we are selling granules, we are selling suya spice, we are selling this. And let's focus on what has been validated by Walmart. That's where we are focused on right now. And when those guys, when they buy in the hundreds of thousands of dollars worth when they buy. And our profit margin, we are still going to continue selling directly to customers at $12.99. But if we wholesale for what, $6 a pack, and we are selling volumes, I can do that because my supply chain is intact. It's not as if you wake up tomorrow and go to Aura and say, ah, crayfish no day today. There's an abundance of seafood in Nigeria. So someone might be asking, well, Rich, should I sell crayfish? And I get this question a lot. Should I sell crayfish? Should I say, of course you can, but are you going to enjoy it the way we do? Do you have control of the supply chain? Do you have a team on hand? All of these things has to be in place. And you can't do it remotely. Let me tell you guys, I go to Nigeria every year and I'm with the people. I'm there on ground. And then when I come back to there, I just manage. But I went and I've set our systems in place. The processing is in place. Everything that we need, the way that we process, the way we do our algorithm is all in place because I made those investments early on in the beginning of the business. But some of you want to run a business from abroad. It's impossible. You got to be back home one way or another. Does electricity factor in your supply chain in Nigeria? It does. And we talked about this. CJ, I am my own power supply. I have my own generator. I have my own borehole. I run my generator literally when I'm there on ground as much as I can. So I don't depend on the local grid there in the village. I don't. I basically create my and generate my own power, unfortunately. And that is a bottleneck in a way because I mean, I spend like what $20 a day worth of what? Petrol for the gen. Minimum. And if I'm there for 10 days, that's $200. 10 days worth of energy for the 10 to 14 days that I'm in Nigeria. But the but it's okay because guess what? I'm selling in dollars. All of this is done in Naira. When I buy in Naira right now, what is the exchange rate? I know it just dropped recently to the other day was 1,470. I believe today, let me check Sendwave. Today it's 4,000, sorry, 1,424. So it kind of fluctuates, goes up and down, back and forth like that. Oh, it's 1,433, right? 34. 1,434 right now. 1 USD to Naira. But because we sell in dollars, we are not too much worried about the expenses because we say it covers everything. My revenue covers my trip to Nigeria. And also my trip to Nigeria is a business trip. That's what I'm telling you guys. Form a business in the United States so you can write off all of your trips to Nigeria. All of my trips to Nigeria is written off now. My flight, my hotel, my everything is documented and written off. At the end of tax season that's coming up, I give it to my accountant, to my bookkeeper. They look at everything, they deduct everything. My car that I sent home, written off. I just finished paying off my Ford F-150. Guess where that one is going? Nigeria. I paid it off in December. Because I gotta have a four-wheel drive. I gotta have a truck in Nigeria. And then my Hyundai Elantra is going to be like my backup car in case I have an emergency. You see, in Nigeria, you got to control everything. You can't be dependent on anybody in Nigeria. You're not gonna make it. So I'm gonna potentially have two cars in Nigeria. I'm gonna have my Ford F-150, my truck. That's going to be like my everyday hustle and bustle muscle vehicle. My Ford F-150, and then the Hyundai Elantra is just backup. How many employees do you have? I have a team, and they are all project based. It's not as if I keep them on a salary. All my team is There's only one person that I keep that I would consider as on salary, and it's not as if I pay him. He's my manager. Guess what I do for him? I pay his house rent every year. He's been with me now for 3 years. I'm like, don't worry about anything. At least so long as you have a place to live. He also has his own job. He's in a tech space. He installs solar energy for people. I said I would take care of you so long as you take care of business. I spoke to him this morning. Every year I pay his rent. Because in Nigeria it's on a yearly thing. They don't do monthly there. Every year I pay. He lives in a one-bedroom apartment in Uyo. I pay his rent every single year. And then what he does on his own, he work to buy food and take care of himself. I take care of his rent. And then when there's project, I activate my team in the village. When they're only on a project-based systems, what I have there in Nigeria. Nobody's on a payroll where I'm paid monthly. Nobody's on my payroll like that. Everyone is on a project base. The only person that I take care of for the long term is my manager, the one that runs everything for me in Nigeria, and I pay his rent every year. His rent is actually due in April, so I gotta pay that. And he stays loyal. He does everything that I ask him to do. He's basically like he represents me. He's like he knows what I like. He knows my boundaries. He knows what I'm looking for. He's basically me there. Rich, how do I contact you? Active Dodger. Let me put my WhatsApp number here. Active Dodger, I'm based in Las Vegas, so 8311. So I just pinned my WhatsApp. Replace pin message. Yes. So Active Dodger, my WhatsApp is at the top there. Message me. Consulting only though. Message me and I'll tell you how much I charge for consultation. If you want to consult with me for, let's say, an hour, I always tell people who ask for consultation, I provide it, but I don't market it. If you come ready with your questions, your most pressing questions, you can have all of the answers you need in 30 minutes or less with me. I'm not interested in shooting the breeze and talking about what you ate. And you come to me, it's 1 minute of pleasantries and 29 minutes of consulting. I'm all about business. So that's my number. If you want to consult, message me. I will tell you my fee. I'll give you guys Nigeria rates too. And you can pay me in dollars or you can pay me in naira. I am currency agnostic. I get dollar account for Niger. I get naira account. I get dollar account. Listen, pay me in naira or pay me in dollars. I don't give a damn. Just pay me. I've made all the mistakes, so you don't have to invest. So that's my number, Active Dodger. I like your choice of products to sell to retailers like Walmart, from chewing stick to crawfish. Yes. Let me tell you, Active Dodger. Do you know our second best seller is chewing stick? But guess what? We are pulling out of the chewing stick market so we can focus on crayfish. You see that Paco one at the shop for Nigeria? We sell them 6 pack for $12 and nine. Paco that we are buying for 20 naira a stick. I'm taking something that is 60 naira. Think about this. You see, guys, I give you the information. It's what you do with it. A stick of Paco, you see this Paco, sells in Nigeria for 20 naira. And we sell them 6 pack. So that's 60 naira. I'll be my math there, right? Sorry, oh, sorry. Oh. 20 times 6. 120 naira. Sorry, my math is off. Divided by 1,434. We are getting it for 8 cents. And we are selling something that we are buying for 8 cents for $12.99. Stop waiting for Tinubu. Stop waiting for NEPC. Stop waiting for your dad. Stop waiting for your mom. Stop waiting for witches and wizards to go away. Enter Niger and find something to sell to Americans. Yes, now. So we are on Walmart. We are also on Amazon. Active Dodger. Okay, okay. That CJ directed that one to him. CJ has a wealth of information I need to consensually tap into. Do that. You are at it again. Rich, brilliant idea. Either right or yes. Now, do you use electricity in your processing? Of course. Now, how else are you going to grind what do you call it? Sorry, the grinding. Sorry, is gas. You know they have to hand crank it. But that's pretty much it as far as electricity is concerned. It's just having light in the house, having fan. So that grind that's well, you can I guess we can all agree that petrol is still energy, right? In a way. So that's still energy. It's not technically electricity, but petrol is because you're gonna need petrol to power the uh the grinder, the grinding machine. We also sell Gary, but we are pulling out of the Gary space. We are no longer in the Gary business. The little Gary that we have left, once that goes away, that product goes away, that commodity goes away. Go on our Amazon website page. You will see everything that we sell on Amazon. All of that is going away. The only thing that we're keeping is the crayfish. You decide. No, no, an 11,000 kVA gen. It's not really an industrial gen, but it's just a little bit higher than, let's say, a regular small gen. But that so the gas liter is a 30 liter 11 kVA gen. It can take our inverter AC. It can carry our fridge. It can carry our electric cooker. It basically carries everything that I need for the 2 weeks that I'm there in Nigeria. That I'm there in Nigeria, if that makes sense. Yeah, so thanks for the contact. No problem, no problem. Yes, you have questions. Like I said, yeah, hit me up, book a consultation. Like I said, bring your questions. 30 minutes is all you need. You don't need more than that. If we go an hour, we've gone too long. But I'll give you up to an hour, but everything that you need can be done in 30 minutes. Give me Niger rates. Niger rate of what? So we can take over chewing stick business from you. Listen, if you want to take over my chewing stick business, no problem. I will supply you all the chewing sticks that you need. Guess what we do? Okay, CJ, let me give you a story. Part of the reason that we are also pulling out of the chewing stick is this. The toothpick tree, the chewing stick tree that we use is not the normal neem tree or the dongoyaro tree. That's not it. The tree that we use is cultivated on the border of Calabar, Cross River, and Cameroon. Very, very specific. It's very difficult to access those trees. So because the supply chain is a little bit wishy-washy, it's not something that we can scale. Because today you go, the supplier will tell you, there's tree, or another day they'll give you an excuse. But the makers, the people who actually make the crayfish the chewing stick for us are available in Uyo in Akwa Ibom State. But we have to source the tree directly from Cross River State, and it's cultivated along the border of Cameroon and Cross River State. It's too much of a headache. That is why we are pulling out of the chewing stick market. But I'm telling you, you are buying something for 8 cents. Our landed no more than 15 cents to land a 6 pack of crayfish. We are selling them for $12.99. Nigerians abroad, look home and find something to sell. Something that you are going to enjoy interacting with. Something that you can tell the story behind the product. something that has a high profit margin, that's easy to pack, easy to ship, easy to use. Another thing, you want to sell a consumable. CJ, I know you were talking about crayfish. Sorry, chewing stick. Think about it. Chewing stick is not really a consumable item. Crayfish is. Someone can buy a stick of chewing stick from you now and not need another one for what? A year. But because crayfish is a seafood ingredient, they will come back every 2 weeks, every month. Right now, we are on a subscription base where people subscribe to our crayfish supply. So we don't, their credit card is already on file on Amazon. Every so often, every month or so, they are just replenished automatically and their credit card is charged. You can't do that with chewing stick. I'm giving you guys game. You gotta think of the economics of what you are doing. Focus on consumable, something that's going to be used, and then people are gonna come back and buy more. You can do that with a hat. You can't do that with a dire. You can't do that with Ankara. You can't do that with a senator outfit. You know feet. You need to get into the food export space. And also, don't do palm oil. Oh. Palm oil is too dirty. It's too heavy. Only Nigerians eat red oil. Gari, don't do gari. You know why you don't want to do gari? Because only Nigerians eat gari. You don't know the chop gari. Buy something that the whites eat. We also sell ogbono. We are getting out of the ogbono business because the ogbono business does not translate to Caucasians. Only Nigerians eat ogbono and other West African cultures. I should put on a master class for you guys to come and charge you guys for you guys to come in and get gay. Should I? Should I? Can you tell us your chewing stick supplier if you no longer want them? CCJ won't collect free supply chain. You want supplier that I spent 5 years building that relationship. I'm just gonna come and hand it over to you, CJ. Is that how it works? CJ, we can talk, Sha. Maybe I'll work something out with you. And by the way, CJ, the podcast we did with you on Saturday, I think it has like 160 something views right now. I shared it on social media. People are resonating, it's resonating with people. People are watching the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not aware, CJ came on Imbaricate Live with me and Kate on Sunday, and we chopped it up for 2 hours. Watch that episode on the channel. We talked about what Alex Oti, the governor of Abia State, is doing in Abia. Very, very informative podcast. Nigerians abroad, you are my primary audience. Go and watch that episode with myself, Kate, and CJ from Sunday. It's a 2 hour episode. Binge watch it. Watch it while you're driving your car. Any issue with the Gary, can we take that over to CJ? You're okay. Guys, I should put together a masterclass. I'll put together a masterclass on Nigerian exports one day and then charge people. Let me tell you the issue with Gary. Your number one problem with Gary, CJ, is going to be cassava. Where are you going to source cassava? The majority of cassava farmers in Nigeria today, they farm subsistently. They are not commercial cassava farmers. So you are going to have a scaling problem. They're not going to be able to supply the cassava that you need to be able to process your gari. What is the shelf life of cassava? You only have 4 days from the time that you harvest the cassava to the time that it's processed into finished product, finished gari. You've got 4 days only. Unless you have cold storage, the cassava will spoil and rotten, and your gari will turn black. The biggest challenge with Nigerian gari is not the processing itself, it's the cassava. You are not going to, let me tell you something. I combed the entire country looking for cassava suppliers, couldn't find them. And then when I ended up finding one in Oyo State, I found this huge cassava farm in Oyo State. The guy said that I would be responsible for trucking the cassava from Oyo State to Akwa Ibom State. With the way Nigerian roads are, it will probably take you 4 days. And by the time the cassava reaches your, your processing facility, it's all gone bad. Unless you have a storage container. Remember, in Nigeria right now, today, they have to use generator as a cold storage. Let me tell you, that's how they are doing cold storage in Nigeria right now. Generator inside the container to keep the product inside cold. If that generator goes bad, your produce goes bad. So that is it. So let's say you get past the cassava aspect. Now you are going to need a team of people. As a matter of fact, let me take you on a journey to the Mbariket cassava business and show you guys what we're doing in what we're doing in the cassava space. Una think say I dey play. Una think say I dey play. Una think say I dey play. I know they play. Oh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, introducing you to Mbariket Nigerian Gari on Amazon. We sell a pound of our gari for $12.99. You see there, highlighted for you, ladies and gentlemen, Mbariket Nigerian white gari African cassava flakes 1 by 1 pound pack. We sell them for $12.99. Now, let me tell you the story, CJ. You see, when I tell you, I say I'll be Ogbologbo for this business. You see, the Nigerian government should be partnering with somebody like me because I've been there and I've done it. Look at the processing of our gari. It's fried over firewood fire. It's processed by hand. Eh? We even sell the Mbarikat Gari locally in Nigeria, in the Nigerian market. Are they crazy? You see, this one no be AI. This is not artificial intelligence, ladies and gentlemen. This is real. That is our branding. That is our name. We are well known in Nigerian local market space. The Mbariket Gari. Look at that now. Mbariket Gari for markets. And are they America? Are they Las Vegas, the Chilo? Hmm? Hmm? Look, this is what these ladies, we supply them. Do you know why I pulled out of the Gary space? I could not find somebody to supply me commercial quantity cassavas. Oh. You see, when I tell you that say I be guy, I went to Nigeria now. I went and shot the video of them processing, frying the Gary by hand. These are my people now. Everything I do, I use my own people. Plain and simple. So, like I'm telling you, CJ, eh, is this? Stop sharing. We got out of the cassava space because we couldn't find commercial level supply of cassava. So that's how we got out. Okay. And we are not going back because here's another reason why we got out. Gari does not translate to the Western markets. You see, what we are selling right now, we are selling Nigerian products to a Western consumer base. More Americans buy our crayfish than Nigerians. It's true. It's true. So when you see, guys, I, if you guys are interested in imports of Nigerian products, just book a consultation and you get to bypass all the mistakes that we've made in the past 6 years. So you can focus on the signal. You see, it's not as if consulting that I don't make money off of it. It's actually a waste of my time, to be quite honest with you. When I'm sitting down there exchanging my time for money, it's a waste of, I prefer to make money while I'm sleeping. But if it's the little contributions that I can contribute to help Nigerians out, I will do so. You understand what I mean? But it's the least of I don't enjoy it. I would rather do something like this, put it out into YouTube, and then let people just watch, learn a thing or two. Niger rates for your consultation. I can't publicize it. You better WhatsApp me. I will give you the rate, and then we can convert it into naira. You can pay into naira into my naira account. Some of you have naira more naira than dollars. So. I just got 150K today, my naira account, just out of the blue. So I drop 150K. I got the notification. The money that's still there. For me to now change that money to dollar, I'll just leave it there. When I go to Nigeria, yeah, I go spend. Do you have any concerns about the crayfish farming sustainability at the point of fishing? Good question. Good question. Good question. Good question. You see, sustainability is very hard to monitor in Nigeria. Do we eventually want to have sustainability as far as like harvesting? Of course, we want to be able to know, but something like that. You're talking about local fishermen. They don't know that word. But I also don't think that they are overfishing, though. They are not overfishing. Because you got to remember, we share a river with Cameroon. So they are not overfishing. I think they are fishing responsibly. But in order for you to really push sustainability in Nigeria like we do abroad, you got to have buy-in of the local populace. Go to Nigeria right now and try to do sustainability. They'll look at you like, what is that? They don't know what that means. But Listen, what we do, the way that we kind of define sustainability is we pay the fishermen well, we treat them well. Um, we let them know that we are helping to boost the non-oil export space. But then again, it's kind of hard for you to overfish in Nigeria, though. Think about it. Think about it for a second, CJ. Majority of everything done there is done manually. It's not as if they have like a dredging machine or some sort of like commercial grade boats that go in there. It's still done manually. So there's an abundance of crayfish on the ground in Nigeria. So we are not really worried about that too much. Yeah. Active Dodger said CJ. Yeah, Active Dodger, link with CJ. Link. CJ is solid, Active Dodger. She's very, very solid. She has a plan. I like CJ's ambition. I think she might be over ambitious though, but I still like the ambition. I know CJ is still green in business. She's still new to this. It'll be interesting to see her execution though going forward, but at least she has a good heart and she has a good mind. But when CJ starts dabbling in business and projects in Nigeria, it will be interesting to see though, CJ, if you are conditioned for what you are getting yourself into. Are you conditioned to be heartbroken? Are you conditioned to have a certain standard for yourself that some people may not be able to meet? And also, are you disciplined to still upload those high standards? Because sometimes when people don't meet your standard, is in the human nature to lower your standard and lower your floor. Remember, I said that thing, you got to raise your floor. So I've raised my floor so high that my team have met me there at my floor. I don't lower my standards. So it's about condition. Everybody wants to be a boxer until you get into that ring. Then you got to realize, oh, I got to run 10 miles a day. I got to be disciplined in what I eat. I got to train when other people are having fun. Nigeria needs conditioning, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think you're going to wake up today and do. Nigeria needs mental conditioning for you to be successful. So that's one thing, especially for those who are not entrepreneurs and you don't have the entrepreneurial foundation, you may struggle a little bit. It took me 5 years to build a winning team. And remember, when you build a team, how do you sustain that relationship? How do you keep them motivated while living abroad? I told you, I spoke to my team this morning at 2 o'clock in the morning. On my way to drop my kids, I always stay in touch and stay in contact with my team. So then that way, we are, it's like a race. When you are running a race, you kind of keep people together and they kind of lead each other. Otherwise, somebody gets left behind. So keeping your team together means constant communication. Even if I don't have anything for them, I'll still call and say, how is Nigeria? How are you? How is everything? And then they'll tell me that they are doing certain things. This is what they are doing. They are waiting for the next project. Yeah, you got to keep them close. Like I told you guys, in during Christmas, I sent my team some Christmas bonus. Some of them haven't even worked for me in months. I still sent them Christmas bonuses. You got to keep your team intact once you've built them. It took me 5 years. I fired a lot of people to then arrive at the team that I have today. It's just like any other relationship. You have got to nurture your team, even while you are abroad. You can't be disappearing for 6 months and then call them again. Who's this guy? You got to continuously nurture your team. So the conditioning aspect is what a lot of people and people think, oh, money can solve the problem. Money can't solve the problem. Money only amplifies. It can't solve your problem. You can't throw money at the problem in Nigeria. That is why it's going to take you time to build a team that aligns with your personality and your way of getting things done. It's going to take time. Don't think you're going to roll over tomorrow and build a winning team. It took me 6 years. That is why I speak with such conviction because I know what I've been through. Okay? Woman with a plan. Damn, I should start selling cassava and potato leaf. Which one is I know cassava, which one is potato leaf again? You know you can't export any fresh leaves into the US. It's got to be dried leaves. Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora want this food stuff. But are they not diasporan and other Americans that you are selling to? Yibo people eating crayfish? Yes. Ah! No! My market is not. Listen, initially, that's what I thought. That my market was limited to just Nigerians. Do you know how I prove that it's not? We took the Mbariket crayfish to our local farmers markets here in Vegas. You see, Las Vegas is not like Texas or New York or Los Angeles, where there's a huge population of Nigeria. Let me tell you, the only Nigerian person that I've seen in these 13 years of living in Las Vegas is the lady that owns the only Nigerian provision store here in town. Her name is Nkim. Occasionally, I'll just stop there and buy chin chin because my kids love chin chin. I'll stop. That's it. Outside of that, it's all Americans. They showed up to the farmers market and bought our crayfish, tons of them. Once they've sampled it, wow, this is smoked fish. It tastes really good. Yes, you can put it on everything. I put crayfish on eggs. I put it on my rice. I put it in beans. Obviously, I cook swallow with my crayfish. I put my crayfish on my steak. So my market is not limited to diasporans and Nigerians only. Once we were able to prove that Americans also enjoy the crayfish, that was what really opened up the doors for us to really start looking into expanding this. And now we are narrowing everything down so we can concentrate specifically on our crayfish brand. She seems ambitious, brilliant. Yes, I love her consider. Yes, 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 she definitely is. CJ is one, you want to get to know her. Active, where are you in the US? I don't know where you are in the US, but CJ is, she's Canada. Okay. Okay, guys, so it's 2 hours. I gotta head out. Thank you for your time. I hope you found some value in this. There's opportunity in Nigerian non-oil exports for those abroad. Just know that with the opportunities also comes challenges that you're just gonna have to overcome. Sometimes it just takes time. It takes time for you to find your calling. It takes time for you to find the products that you enjoy. Just because crayfish works for me doesn't mean it will work for you. Your calling may be Gary. Your calling may be suya, spice. Your calling may be even salt, black pepper, red pepper, sesame, cocoa. Whatever your calling is, if you focus on it and not get distracted, I think you can make a living. And most importantly, you can also create jobs back home. So if you are unsure on where to start and you just want to have a conversation about business to help you think things through, like I said, you can do the consulting thing. I don't really market it like that. But you can reach out to me and we can squeeze something in together and have a chat for a half hour or an hour. You don't need more than an hour on the phone with me. And most of the consulting that I do them on Zoom. So if in case I need to share something with the person or they got something to share, they can share it via video. Otherwise, you can just talk on the phone for a half hour and then go from there. But I really think though, we have to be the ones to boost the Nigerian non-oil export space, guys. We can't wait for foreign investors. You see, the people closest to the product have to be the leaders of that product before foreign investors can come in. Okay, so we are pushing our crayfish in our own little way. As you can see in our branding, we are specific where our product is from. Nigerian premium crayfish, very specific. We didn't say African. Own your country. Own where your product is coming from. That is your differentiator. Okay. So thank you guys for your time. I really appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, and comment. And most importantly, please kindly subscribe. I will be back tomorrow for another episode. I'm going to schedule that episode later on tonight. And I hope to talk to you guys tomorrow. CJ Active Dodger, as always, thank you for your time and your chatting and contributing to the show. Okay. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.